Let's talk a little bit about basic color theory, shall we? We're going to start with the primary colors. These are the three main colors used to make all other colors. So we're looking at red, yellow, and blue. These are the primary colors we're going to use in our color wheel. So what I want you to do is fill in these boxes with a nice solid coat of red, yellow, and blue. Now the next thing we're going to look at are secondary colors. These colors are made by mixing two primary colors. Use your primary colors to make these secondary colors. So we're going to take some red and yellow and we're going to layer that together. And once you layer those on top of each other, you'll see what color we make. Now it's important to remember that since we are layering colors, we don't want to put a nice dark coat on. We want to put like a nice mid-level coat on. I would go especially lighter with the red and blue than you do with the yellow, because yellow is a weaker color and red and blue can be very overpowering when mixed with yellow. So here I'm putting the yellow on top of the red. Another tip when dealing with these Crayola crayons or Crayola colored pencils is to do the yellow last. The yellow has a waxier type of mix and it makes it very difficult to blend things on top of yellow. So we're going to save the yellow for last. All right, the next color we're going to do is a mixture of blue and yellow. Notice I put the blue first. And the final mixture we're going to do is red and blue. Now red and blue are pretty equally powered, so we can do nice midtones on both of those. And you'll notice that the three colors that we create for secondary colors are orange, green, and violet. Now we're going to do warm colors. These colors appear warm to the touch and include reds, oranges, and yellows. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you use your primary and secondary colors for this. So we're going to color in one box red. Then I'm going to skip a box. I'm going to color the next one orange. Then I'm going to skip again and color the next one yellow. Now what I want to do is combine those colors to create those tertiary colors in between. So we have a red orange. We have a yellow orange. Notice I put the orange first and the yellow last. And then I'm going to mix a light layer of green with yellow, because the yellow green tends to be seen as more of a warm color than a cool color. It's very strong and yellow. Now we're going to look at the cool colors. These colors appear cool to the touch and include blues, greens, and violets. So I'm going to start with my green, and the reason I'm starting with green is because I ended with yellow-green. I'm going to skip and do a blue, and then I'm going to skip and do a violet. Now, we're going to layer those colors again, so I'm going to do a little blue and a little green, and that is a blue-green. And then I'm going to do a little blue and a little violet to make a blue-violet. And now I'm going to do a little bit of violet and a little bit of red. And I'm going to make that a red-violet. Red-violet tends to be seen as a little bit more cool, although red-violet and yellow-green are both kind of borderline colors. Now, in the middle, and here's a fun story. So it says in the box above, your challenge is to come up with a creative color wheel eye. Human, animal, realistic, cartoon, imaginary. The world is your canvas, you decide. I totally kind of, didn't think about the whole eye part, and I made something different, which is fine. It's all about making the color wheel and being creative, not about specifically making an eye. So if you want to do something other than an eye, absolutely. And I decided I was going to use a butterfly. I know it's really hard to see my lines right now because I'm sketching it out. As I start to add the color, the wings will become more noticeable. So what we're going to do is we're going to use all 12 of the colors that we have listed below, the warm and the cool colors, and we're going to put them in order of the color wheel. Now, in order to help you guys understand what colors go where, there is a small color wheel placed just above the word primary. And that will show you the colors in order. It also tells you the primary colors, which are the middle triangle colors. And then it tells you the secondary colors, which are the orange, green, and violet. And then all the other colors are kind of mixed in. The tertiary are mixed in between the primary and secondary colors. So we're going to start with a red. Then we're going to move on to orange. And then I'm going to have to layer my red and orange to create my red-orange. Very creative tertiary color names. Now I'm going to add my yellow And I'm going to do some layering of my orange and my yellows together to make yellow-orange. Now we call it yellow-orange because we call it by the primary color first. However, remember when you're dealing with yellows, you want that to be your last color, otherwise it's really difficult to mix. Now we're moving on to our green. And we're going to add that blue in there to make a blue-green color. And then move on to the blue. Try to color neatly. Try to let your colors look evenly meshed when you're mixing. Now I am at the blue violet and the violet. And now I'm going to finish off with the red violet as it approaches red again. So you should be able to go around and around in circles to make your color wheel. So you'll notice I'm coming in with some black now. And I want to finish it off with my black, and I'm going to play with my line weight. We've already talked about line weight. I'm going to bold it up in some places, keep it thinner in other places, and that adds to the interest of your artwork. Now I'm coming in and adding a little bit of line work detail in here because I think that the butterfly wings are going to look better with a little bit of that line work detail. I'm not really sure what those part of the wings are called, but I like the way that the lines kind of branch out, almost like veins on a leaf. It's really pretty. It makes it look almost like stained glass. So we're playing with line weight. Some lines bold, some lines not. Come in and finish off the body. Give it just a little touch of shading in the belly. Now I'm going to play with the eyes, and I'm going to play with the background a little bit, and that does not have to fit the color wheel because I made the wings my color wheel, so the rest of it can be a little bit different. And I'm throwing a little yellow on this side because I think the yellow is going to contrast nicely with the purples and the blues. And then I'm going to throw a little bit of the violets and the blues on the other side because those cool colors will contrast nicely with the warm colors. So we have the color wheel in order.